Hello students, welcome to Accounting 202 Managerial Accounting. I am Dr. Claudia Mercado and I will be your instructor for this semester. The semester is going to run from September 1st through October 26, 2025. Okay. Now what are we going to be learning in this course? This is the course description part of the course catalog. Students will explore the financial impact of short-term and long-term business decisions. By learning how accounting and other productivity information can be used to assess and improve the performance of an organization, managers will be provided with the essential information they need to execute growth strategies and select opportunities that create business value. Now, the core competencies. This course covers the following competencies, which represent the knowledge and skills relevant to the field of managerial accounting. We're going to describe how managerial accounting supports management information systems. We're going to utilize managerial accounting techniques and models to support an organization's strategic plan. And we're going to explain how managerial accounting is used to make decisions about short-term business opportunities, capital investments, and evaluating operational performance. Okay, this is a brief educational background about myself. To start off, I am the first one in my family to go to college, so I'm very proud of that. I was born in Reynosa, Mexico, so I come from Mexico. I immigrated when I was very small, maybe 4 or 5 years, to the United States. I am from the state of Texas. I've lived there most of my life. So when I graduated, I didn't have anybody that could guide me because nobody in my family had gone to college. But I said, you know what, I'm going to give this a try. I was not sure if I was going to be able to handle college. So I started off with an accounting clerk certificate. Once I saw and I felt that I could handle it, I continued with my Associates of Arts in Business Administration. I then transferred to the University of Texas Pan American, where I completed both my bachelor's and master's in accounting. Later in life, I continued with my education and I completed my Doctor's of Philosophy in Business Administration with specialization in organizational leadership. Now, from 2001 to 2020, where I finished my educational studies, I was going to school. Most of the time, I went to school part-time. Why? Because I needed to work. I had a full-time job, so I had to go to school. I would usually go to school at nights. Back in the day, most of the classes were face-to-face. So I would get out of work at 6 and then I would go to college. It was about an hour drive from 7 to 10 p.m. And then I would drive back home and then I would repeat. So I couldn't take a full load because of my work schedule. But I said to myself, you know what? Taking 2-3 classes is better than taking none. So I took it slow, and by the time I knew it, I had completed my Doctor's of Philosophy in Business Administration. So sometimes you might feel overwhelmed with the amount of work that you have in school, and if you're working outside of school, and then if you have children. I have 4 children. So yes, family, school, and work can be overwhelming. We just need to try to manage our time as best as we can, stay organized, establish our goals, and just work towards them. Never give up. That's the key. Never give up to your goals. If you want something, even if it takes you a couple of years, just go for it. And, at the end, you're going to see the benefits of working so hard. Now, my work experience, I've been working as a full-time accounting instructor at South Texas College since August of 2014. I'm currently working there as well. I have worked in the role of department chair. And prior to that, I have about maybe 13 years of banking experience. I worked in different areas. I started off as a teller, and then I became a teller supervisor, a lending assistant, an accounting specialist. I moved up to being a senior accountant. Then I became a vice president. I became an operations project manager. And then I had the opportunity to transition into education, so I became an instructor at a college, for personal reasons. And I am loving it. It's a completely different monster than working in industry. We have a lot more flexibility, time off than working in industry. I recall when I was in the bank, I used to manage the end of year closing process. And I wouldn't have a Christmas or a New Year's ever. I was always at work. So now with this job of being a full-time instructor, I get to spend a little bit more time with my family. So that's one of the perks of being an instructor. But going back to my education, I did go to school, you know, part-time. I was always working full-time. I've always worked ever since I graduated college in 2000. So I have worked nonstop. There's no gaps in my life. So I'm very blessed to have work. And I've just enjoyed every aspect of where I have, because I've learned a lot throughout the years. And I continue, I'm a person that loves to read, that loves to attend seminars, trainings, to stay up to date with all of the current policies and procedures and things that are going on in the field of accounting, so we can stay relevant. Okay. Now, some important information about the course. Please make sure that you read all of the announcements posted every week. I post about 2 to 3 announcements per week. Those announcements include deadlines, important information, class notes, videos, reminders, anything of that nature. Please read your announcements. Please print a copy of the course syllabus so that way you can keep with you and you make sure that you keep up with all deadlines. Please make sure that you adhere to all deadlines. That way you do not fall behind. If you need clarification on any of the assignments or instructions, please ask before submitting your assignments for grading. Once an assignment has been submitted and graded, no resubmissions will be allowed. Now, I've had this issue where students, submit an assignment, I review it, I grade it, and I give feedback. I send it back, and then the student comes back and says, "Oh, Dr. Mercado, I uploaded the wrong file." Okay? That is on you, the student. Okay, you have one job, which is to complete the assignment and make sure that you upload the correct file. I will not accept resubmissions. Okay, when you upload the file, you need to make sure that you upload the correct file. Okay, once an assignment has been graded, that is it. No resubmissions will be allowed. If you are working on a problem set or milestone and need clarification, please provide me with the problem information and your attempted step-by-step solution so I can provide guidance. I will not provide you with the answer. I'm going to provide you with guidance so you can figure out how to get to the answer. Okay. Now, if you are working on a problem set, I'd rather you include a screenshot of the problem. That way that I can look at it, and that way it is easier for reference, along with your attempted step-by-step solution, so I can review what you're doing and then be able to give you feedback and guidance. On the discussions, please make sure that you answer all discussion prompts in full and that you organize your responses in an easy-to-follow manner. Okay. For the discussions, the initial post will be due on Thursday of the week they are assigned, and the 2 peer responses will be due on Sunday. Make sure that you do adhere to those deadlines. For the discussions, no late submissions are allowed. So, what did I say about discussions? The initial posts need to happen before Thursday or by Thursday. And then the responses to 2 of your peers need to be completed by end of day Sunday. You will be completing a milestone project that consists of 3 parts. Okay, we're going to be completing milestone 1 in module 2, milestone 2 in module 4, and milestone 3 in module 5. I provide specific information about the milestone project. Please make sure when you read your announcements, important information is provided in the announcements for these specific weeks. Excuse me. Students need to make sure that they embed all formulas and cell references when working on the milestone. I post several announcements about this issue. Students need to show me their work. They need to embed within the cells how you arrived at the figures. Okay, so you do need to embed the formulas. That way I can see what you're multiplying, dividing, adding, subtracting, or whatever the case might be. So I've had students challenge me. Sometimes they've uploaded files with the correct information, okay, but there's no formulas included. I send the file back, okay. No formulas are included. Miss, but those are the right answers. Well, they might be the right answers, but there's no formula included. I need to know how you derive those figures. And a lot of the time, students don't resubmit their work because they don't have the formula. They don't know how it was calculated, okay? Please make sure I will not accept submissions for any of the milestone assignments unless formulas are included. Please read all of the announcements posted each of the weeks related to the projects. Please upload the file in Excel format. I need it in Excel because I will be providing you feedback within your Excel spreadsheet or workbook, okay? So you do need to upload the file in Excel format so I can provide you with feedback and annotate which items are incorrect, okay? I will not accept any files missing formulas, cell references. Students must always show their work or their calculations. It is very important that corrections are made to the milestones as you complete them. So for example, if you complete milestone 1, I give you feedback, I've identified some errors. You need to fix those errors before you begin working on milestone 2. The same thing, if you complete milestone 2, I give you feedback, there's some errors. You need to fix your milestone 2 submission before you begin working on milestone 3. Okay? So it is imperative that you review any revisions that are needed are made before you begin working on the following or the preceding milestone assignments. Okay. Now, if you're going to complete the assignment, you're going to submit it for grading. I'm going to give you your grade and I'm going to give you feedback. If you need me to review your file, you can email it to me. Okay, email it to me and I will provide you with feedback. Now, the revisions that you make are not going to alter the grade earned. Your initial grade or your preliminary grade is what's going to be maintained. The purpose of you to make the revisions is that way when you get to milestone 2, you've corrected the issues with milestone 1, and then that way you avoid any future errors or problems in the preceding submissions. Now, I wanted to point out the late submission policy. Students might need extra time to complete their assignments, so they are given a 1-week grace period. Now, if you do submit your work late, you are subject to a 10% late penalty. Now, discussion board submissions are not accepted for credit after the deadline. Those you cannot extend the week, okay? Discussions need to be completed the week assigned, okay? Now, for all other work, projects, or problem cases or whatever they that you need to work, problem sets is what they're called. Okay, so if you have a problem set, if you have a project, anything of that nature, and you submit it late, you will be assessed a 10% penalty. So students are given 7 days to complete their work. If they don't get it done within those 7 days, they have an additional 7 days after that to complete the assignment with a 10% late penalty. Okay. Any submissions after the 2-week period will be a 0. Okay. So if you do not submit your work by the established deadlines, you will get a 0. Okay. Now for the weeks of finals, there will be no late submissions accepted because I have grading deadlines to meet. Okay. If you have any questions about the course, please feel free to contact me. You can always email me at c.mercado@snhu.edu. We can then schedule either a phone call or a Teams meeting or whatever the case might be to discuss your particular issue at hand. Okay. If you have any questions, if anything happens during the semester that's causing you to fall behind, please establish communication with me as soon as possible. Okay. Do not delay. That way I'm aware that something is happening on with you and that maybe you're going to need some extensions on some of your work based on your needs. Okay. So I want to wish you an excellent semester. I hope all of you are ready to get started. So it will only be 8 short weeks. So they're going to fly by fairly quickly. Please make sure that you do reach out to me with questions or concerns. I am here to support you. If throughout the semester you have any questions or you're confused or whatever the case might be, I am here to help as much as I can. So I wish you an excellent semester. Until next time, bye-bye.